I'm doing, I go, I never turned it on. Okay, everybody here has been here before. We're going to hold this meeting in accordance with the rules and procedures approved by this board on January 4th of this year. Everybody knows where all the exits and entrances are. So we'll move on next to approval of minutes. Everybody have a chance to review them? Any comments? I'll take a motion to approve. Moved by Tim, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? That's right. You weren't here. Maybe. Let's hold them over next time. Hold them over. We got to have 3 and we don't have the number. I forgot about, as I was saying, I go, God, Doug's going to have to abstain. Okay. No legal notices, order of business. First item up is Powers Property Incentive Zoning. Come up, Ryan, and give us a quick overview.
Good evening, everybody. Ryan Destro from BMA Associates.
Evening.
Also with me tonight is Rob Brenner from Canandaigua Development LLC, the applicant for the Power Property Rezoning Project. Since our last appearance, I believe it was November 11th at that meeting, as you're aware, this board adopted a planning board report recommendation back to the town board on the incentive zoning concept plan that was provided at that point. One of the recommendations from that report was to eventually show the buildable footprints of the commercial lots along the Route 96 corridor. As such, we have provided an updated concept plan which does show the buildable areas that for the Route 96 corridor. It does show that up to 50,000 square feet of commercial space could be constructed within the Route 96 corridor. We've also, on a side note, provided an updated concept utility plan. That plan shows conceptual utility layout for the water main, showing 2 connections throughout 96, 1 future connection to Collette Road to the north. It shows the approximate pump station location for the sanitary sewer. We're showing it in the northeastern corner of the project, roughly in this location. We also show the route of the force main to come south to 96 and then west to the existing town of Farmington sanitary manhole just to the east of Fairdale Glen. That was based on town input for the route and the manhole connection that we were to go into. We also show the general locations of the stormwater management facilities on that utility concept plan as well. We were encouraged at the last meeting and by the report recommendation that this board had for the town board recommending that they proceed with the incentive zoning process, and we're here to continue that and answer any questions based on the updated layout for the Route 96 corridor.
Thank you, Ryan. Ron?
Yeah, the town board needed to have some concept of the feasibility of developing those 4 lots shown on a concept plan, which we were questions about at previous meetings. Why isn't there anything being shown? The planning board recommended that the commercial limited industrial types of uses we provided a list and they have accepted that list. Town board's happy with that list. They also have shown that they will develop these sites without direct access to 96, which is something that you wanted to see how that could be accomplished, and I think they've done that. We're not getting into the weeds over anything other than the limited industrial portion, and the town board is looking to fill in that void, that hole there is missing.
Well, remind me, Ron, is this MTOD?
This is part of the MTOD.
MTOD. What about streetscape? Does it go down that far? I think we stopped it before that, didn't we?
It did. I can say this. Streetscape stops at Fairdale Glen.
That's what I thought. Okay. But those would be good things to look at when you start doing things. Look at the streetscape. Of course, MTOD, it is an MTOD, so just look at the streetscape. Not that we're gonna hold you to everything in streetscape, but it'll give you an idea of what we think looks good along that corridor. So that gives you a good idea.
Yeah, and as Ron mentioned, about the accesses off of the 2 dedicated roads, that's something that I wanted to touch on too. We agree with the town's recommendation to come off of those roads, and we have shown as such on our updated concept plan. That would also be a recommendation of the New York State DOT as well. We know that they would require that. And the New York State DOT will obviously be reviewing and make the ultimate approval the location of the 2 dedicated road access points. Those will be based on the available site distance and their standards that we'll have to meet as well. So.
Okay, cool. Dan.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to report on this at this point. This is still in concept. Obviously, you have to remember after any recommendations you get back to town board, if town board does approve it, it still needs site plan approval by this board. So at this point, I don't know much else.
Cool. Highway.
Yeah, no comments at this time.
All right. Fire. Okay, I will start. Just the only thing I noticed is when we talk about the access from the buildings, they seem to be on the south side, closer to 96. You might want to look at moving them farther north if possible, and I don't know how that fits, but that leaves more stacking just in case, heaven forbid, one of these becomes a restaurant or something like that. It just allows more stacking in there. The farther north you can put those entrances. So just a thought. Okay, Doug.
It's gonna be one of mine, but it's more of a site plan thing anyway.
Yeah, I know, but
Depending on the use, it's gonna vary. And, you know, again, I want to see that too, depending on how busy it is or what the use is actually. Everything else, I mean, I guess the only other question I had is that the parcels are called out and they're labeled limited industrial. That's the existing, right, Ryan? Or because you're proposing this
being IZ, right?
IZ, and it's like a GB/LI.
Yeah.
So those were just notes for existing, basically, right? I just don't want to.
Yes, we do label it as existing LI, and then ultimately it would be an incentive zoning LI/GB, basically a commercial component of the Route 96 corridor.
Okay, all right.
Jim? We all think alike.
Brings a tear to my eyes.
Yeah, well, you know, we've done this so many times and we just know that stacking can be a huge issue, depending on what they are. I mean, if they're low traffic, probably not a big deal.
For shift changes, I mean, on 30,000 square feet of manufacturing.
Yeah. Okay, any other comments by anybody? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to continue this discussion till February 1st to allow the other board members that are here tonight to weigh in and to have staff prepare a supplemental report to the limited industrial part of the incentive zoning site request.
So moved.
Moved by Doug, seconded by Tim. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Okay, we're good to go.
Great.
So next time around, we'll do it and hopefully they'll have some few comments maybe, and then we'll go from there. Okay? Get you guys moving on. Thank you. Okay. Of course, I knew it was going to be easy, but needed. Next item up is 3-letter credit releases. They're all clean, cleared, signed, sealed, delivered.
I only have one.
We only have one. Okay, the other two didn't make it. Which ones?
The letter of credit, I believe, is for Monarch Manor. I believe so.
Only Monarch Manor. Okay, do I have a motion to approve the letter of credit for Monarch Manor?
It is. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Item B. Okay, do I have a motion to approve that? Motion by Tim, seconded by Doug. Any other comments? Clerk, take a roll call vote, please, on that.
You have something, Ron?
No, this was directed to you from the town board.
Yeah.
To approve it subject to your recommendation.
Yep.
As soon as they get the recommendation tomorrow, they'll release the letter.
Cool. Go ahead.
Aye.
Aye, approved. Okay, so we expect to see those other two the next time around. I take it. Okay, open discussion. Ron.
Okay. We have, been working on a draft on-board resolution for the Farmington Market Center incentive rezoning. Finally, after, well, about a year ago, they submitted. Okay. The resolution was shared today with Mr. Ingracia and others for discussion purposes. So inform them of where we're going, and we're meeting with them tomorrow to discuss that, and also to discuss the share equity of the signalized intersection.
It's probably a good idea before the PRC.
Yeah. So things are moving forward there, and we hope that they continue to move forward. I know that now there's more of a sudden urgency on some people's parts to want to start building over there.
And if I remember conversations, and you may have said it before, the DOT has determined that based on the traffic study that the signalized intersection would need to go in immediately.
Within phase one.
Within phase one. So we talked one time about it not going in early and waiting, but now it has to go in with phase one.
Yeah, what's driving this is the desire to change the design of the current access off of Route 96, making it a right in and right out only. And if they do that, they could continue to operate based on the traffic studies, the intersection of Mercer and 96, but they would operate at a level F. DOT has changed their opinion and has agreed that as long as the conditions of closing and changing that current entrance is made, which is something they all want, they'll support putting this in.
Good.
And we'll see.
Okay, anything else, Ron?
Yeah, we have filed all of the easements for the sidewalks, so, and got that taken care of. We also discovered last week or week before that one of the resolutions that we passed last year, which abolished a duplicate section in chapter 165 for stormwater, was never caught by general code. So they were very apologetic, and they're in the process of deleting that, and you'll be getting new inserts for your code book shortly here to reflect that change. Dan and I discovered this almost simultaneously.
Cool.
It was like, whoa, wait a minute. Most communities only have one set of regulations.
There you go.
We have two.
Anything else?
The only other thing I guess New York Planning Federation is coming up with a short conference up at Lake Placid. I don't know what your budget is for that, but it's not very expensive. It might be something worthwhile going to.
Cool. Yeah, we'll keep that in mind. Dan.
All right, your next meeting, the first meeting of February, you have the electric car corner for their final site plan approval. And you also now have Powers property that's coming back to you. Your second meeting, we have the preliminary for the Western New York commercial mixed use storage there on Loomis 332 in Placerville.
That little corner piece.
So that will be on your second meeting. That has to go to county first. It has to be a security to you at that first meeting. So that's what we're looking at. And then Also, I just want to report that, we're still have an open codes position, so if you know any friends and relatives, or people you don't like, send them our way. I'm open to taking anybody at this point, so. But no, truly, we do have a code officer position open, and we are looking for some good help.
Cool. That's it. Highway Tim.
Oh, not much going on the highway. No, but. Busy.
Here we go.
Cutting trees, so, yeah. I've said it
Keep
before,
things
it hasn't
salted
happened
tomorrow,
yet.
will you? I gotta run out about
Hasn't
11.
happened yet.
I gotta run out 11 o'clock tomorrow, so make sure the roads are in
We'll
good
put
shape.
plenty of salt down. Go to the car wash afterwards.
Exactly. All right, thanks. Fire. Normal. Okay. All right, for me, I did talk to Dan today and we talked about an electric car corner a little bit, and my comment was, depending on how they're gonna do the landscaping around the transformers, if they're gonna put in things that require a year or two to grow to cover things up, then show us the progression, show us what the build, after it grows up, or just put in bigger plants, one or the other. To me, the bigger plants make more sense, but I also want to make sure that in the resolution, Ron, we have a maintenance agreement in there so that when they die, that Dan can turn around and require them to replace them. So he has some leg to stand on. Board, anything else? Anybody online? Anybody online at all? I don't think so. Anybody else have any comments? Motion to adjourn by Tim, seconded by Doug. All in favor? Aye. All right.